Hello students, today we will be discussing the derivation of energy expression from Bohr's theory. So you know that electron revolves around the nucleus. Then what would be the energy when it revolves in nth orbit? That we have to derive. Now I am just taking here the help of the pen and paper. Let us take that this is one orbit and nth orbit. Here an electron is revolving. In this nth orbit, electron is revolving. Now what would be its energy? And I am taking here the radius of this orbit is the r, and the mass of this revolving electron is equal to m. Then what will happen? Then you know that there is acting a Coulombic attraction force between this proton and the electron and this electron. And I am just taking here the electron is revolving in nth orbit of an atom. Nth orbit of an atom. Now here you know that the electron will possess two type of energy. One is called the potential energy, which will be given by this formula minus z square divided by r. Z is the atomic number of the atom. And as c, and let us take that the velocity of this revolving electron is the v. Then kinetic energy of this electron will be half mv square. So total energy of the electron will be now equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy minus z square divided by r. And again see, you know that for the stability of this electron, that mv square by r, the centrifugal force and the Coulombic attraction force minus z square by r square, that should be equal. So mv square equal to what we can write? Minus z square divided by r. So can we write here? Now we can write here that the half z square divided by r minus z square divided by r, that is the total energy. That is total energy it will be. Then if I take that, now we have to do the calculation here and see, then 2 and r will be there. Okay, and it will be minus z square divided by 2r. And you know the radius of the electron revolving in the nth orbit equal to Rn equal to n square h square divided by 4 pi square m z square. Now then total energy of the electron, what it will be? Total energy of the electron, if we put in this equation 1 the r value, then it will be z square divided by 2 into n square h square into 4 pi square m z square. Now 2 and 2 will cancel here, then it will be two pi square m z square e to the power 4 divided by n square h square divided by n square h square. That would be the general expression, minus 2 pi square m z square e to the power 4 divided by n square h square. That would be the general expression for the calculation of the energy revolving in the nth orbit. Now if we take that the atom is the hydrogen, then Z value will be 1, Z value 1, and if we take that the first orbit of hydrogen, for first orbit of hydrogen, then n value will be 1. So if we put this in the formula, then energy of the E1 of hydrogen atom, it will be coming here, the 2 pi square m e to the power 4, z value 1, so 2 pi square m e to the power 4 divided by h square, n, as we have taken that the energy of the first orbit of the hydrogen atom, n equal to 1. Now you know that the pi value 3.14, m value, there is a specific value, electron also have a specific amount of charge, and Planck constant also have a definite amount of value. Then see, it will, on calculation it will be coming here the minus 13.6 electron volt in the electron volt unit, and if we calculate in the SI unit, then it will be minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule. So if we take that the electron volt unit, that is the minus 13.6 electron volt. Now if we take the general expression here, En equal to what is coming, minus 2 pi square mz e to the power 4 divided by n square h square. So if we take that the nth orbit only, then for hydrogen atom, then see, if we separated this one equal to 1 by n square, that would be this value, it will be then minus 13.6. so En expression, it will be coming here minus 13.6 divided by n square. That is for hydrogen atom. So energy expression for the hydrogen atom, En for hydrogen atom, it will be here minus 13.6 divided by n square. Now if we take that the hydrogen-like atom, then for hydrogen-like atom, Z value will not be equal to 1. Then En equal to minus 13.6 into, it will be the Z square divided by n square. Look at this formula, J for general expression. Here if we take that the Z value is not equal to 1 and the n value is not equal to 1, so Z square, n square will be separated, and other C 2 pi square m e to the power 4 divided by n square divided by h square, that is the E1 of hydrogen, that is the minus 13.6 in electron volt unit we have written. So minus 13.6 into Z square divided by n square, that is for hydrogen-like atom. Hydrogen-like atom means beryllium 3 plus, lithium 2 plus, etc. Now one more thing you have to know here, that what is the significance of negative sign in the energy expression. Simply just I am explaining here that when electron was outside the nucleus, outside the atom, then its energy was taken as 0. Now when it comes to the nucleus, then what happened? Then it happened that between proton and electron there occurs an attraction force which gives some stability to the electron, and as a result this as the electron gets stability, so it has to release some energy, and this releasing of energy is denoted by the negative sign. So that is the energy expression which is derived from the Bohr's theory. Now in the next C, we have to discuss about here what is the success of Bohr model. See, the success of Bohr model is that it can successfully explain the line spectrum of hydrogen atom. If we take a hydrogen atom in a gas jar, then if we pass electric discharge, then electron of each many hydrogen atom, there is not only one hydrogen atom, many hydrogen atoms are there, so many electron from the many hydrogen atom will acquire different amount of energy, so that they can be moved from the ground state to that of the first excited state, that is the n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5, etc. Now see, these are the higher energy state, and different electrons are occupying now after gaining energy. Then what will happen? Suddenly when they will come back to the come back to the ground state, they have to radiate energy. And suppose one electron from the n equal to 5, after radiating energy, it coming to the n equal to 1. Then n equal to 4, there is a possibility that it can come to the n equal to 1. So that means there will be a series of line spectrum which belongs to the Lyman series. And then see, when a electron from the higher energy state it will come to the second energy state, then the series of line spectrum will be observed in the visible region, that is the Balmer series. And then n equal to 5 to n equal to 3 state, when the electron will come, that will be the Paschen series, Bracken series, Pfund series. And in this way we can explain the formation of line spectrum of hydrogen atom in the different series, that is the Lyman, which is observed in the ultraviolet region, Balmer, which is observed in the visible region, and then Paschen series of line, which is visible in the infrared region, bracket, Pfund, etc. So in this way, means Bohr's model can successfully explain the formation of the line spectrum of hydrogen atom. But there are demerits also of the Bohr model of hydrogen atom. What are the demerits? So if we consider that the demerits of the Bohr model of atom, first demerits, listen carefully. First demerits, it will be that it is valid for only single electron system. Means only the species containing one electron, the Bohr model is applicable. That means it is applicable for the lithium 2+, beryllium 3+, etc. For multi-electron system, it is not applicable. Then the second demerits is that Bohr model could not explain the line spectrum of atoms containing more than one electron, that I have said for the multi-electron system. And Bohr's model of an atom could not count the finer details of the hydrogen spectrum observed using the sophisticated technique. That means, see, if we go back to the main slide again, second slide here, then you see that the here in these lines, if we consider here these lines are actually, if we pass through a sophisticated technique, then it gives a more finer details, and that finer details was unable to explain by this Bohr model of atom. Now, third here, that the Bohr's theory failed to account for the effect of magnetic field on the spectrum of atoms. That is called the Zeeman effect. That means if we pass these lines through a magnetic field, it gives a more finer detail. That means it splits into two or more closely spaced lines. And how this happened, that cannot be explained in terms of the Bohr model of atom. And Bohr's theory also could not explain the effect of electric field on the spectra of atoms. That means the Stark effect also cannot be explained. And Bohr's theory do not provide any clue to explain the shapes of the molecules arising out of the directional bonding between the atoms. That means the geometry of the atom cannot be explained by this Bohr theory. And the main objection to the Bohr's theory came from the new principles, namely dual nature of matter and uncertainty principle. So uncertainty principle will be discussed later in the video, but these are the major demerits of the Bohr model of atom. I hope that this will help you to understand this topic. So go through it, and if you have any problem, write in the comment box of this video, or you can send me a message in my WhatsApp number also.